So when I paint, I like to listen to music. And as I was working on this collection, I found myself looking for music that was in one way or another relevant to the particular piecemaker that I was working on. Now for some this was a little bit more challenging than others, but there was one piecemaker in particular that it was quite simple for. Albert Schweitzer was a brilliant organist and Europe's leading authority on Johann Sebastian Bach, so I would play Schweitzer's own recordings. As I was working on the painting, I was particularly moved by a certain piece of music. I checked to see what it was and I discovered it was Toccata and Fugue in D minor. Well, as soon as I saw the title, it triggered a memory. I recalled reading that Jane Goodall had a particularly moving experience in Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, listening to the same piece of music. It just happens I used to live in Paris, and on Sunday evenings I would go to listen to the pipe organ concerts at Notre Dame and sketch the architecture and statuary. It was beautiful. So here I am working on the Schweitzer painting, and as I'm taking all this in, I drifted into this mystical connectedness with Schweitzer, Goodall, and Bach's music. It was like we were all dancing together. The portrait of my dad, the inspiration for this collection, hung behind me, so I invited him in as well. It was the most powerful moment I experienced during the entire process of creating this collection. So with goosebumps, I drank it all in. I closed my eyes, raised my brush as if it were a magic wand responsible for this warp in space and time, and just danced. In this mystical state of oneness, I believe we travel what has been called the longest distance in the world, the 18 inches from the head to the heart. And all the intolerances and all the things that we rationally know prevent peace are now felt and experienced in such a way that makes that knowledge indelible and much more meaningful. Through this oneness, racism is not just thought of as unfair to someone else, it is felt as impoverishing one's own self. Sexism is not just thought of as an unjust gender-based degradation, it is felt as the sabotage of one's own half. Environmental exploitation is not just thought of as short-sighted, it is felt as self-destructive. In this state, tribalism is not just thought of as unnecessarily divisive, it is felt as soulfully disintegrating. And war is not just thought of as a gravely destructive failure of diplomacy, it is felt as a tragic mass suicide.